Let's head right to the voicemail of Truth and Reason.
Honestly, this year has been harder to watch than the Hugh Jackson years of football. We need new special teams coach. Bubba Ventrone isn't the guy for the job, apparently. The offensive line is horrible. It needs to be revamped. Wide receiver, Jerry Jeudy. This guy has got to go. You just cut Jamari Thrash for no reason, and you let Jerry Jeudy go out there and drop footballs every single week. I mean, Andrew Berry is a joke. He's got to go. Look at how many players that he has gotten rid of that he's still paying today. But maybe one day they will actually get a GM in there that actually cares about building a good football team.
As always, appreciate all the voicemails. Let's welcome in Spencer German from 92.3 The Fan, Locked On Browns podcast. Spencer, that's where we're at with the fan base. That sounded like Mrs. Lincoln from the play, calling us with everything that went wrong. What are your takeaways with Shedeur Sanders and the Bears from that game?
Yeah, before I was going to say real quick in relation to the caller, I honestly think he's kind of right in terms of in terms of fans' enjoyment level with this football team. Like, at least during the Hugh Jackson era, you kind of knew what the vision was, right? Like, you knew there was a purpose to being bad. This time, like right now, like, you don't really know what the vision is. Are they taking a quarterback in the draft? Are they not taking a quarterback in the draft? Is Shedeur Sanders the guy they're going to build around? Will these guys even be here in 3 weeks? So there's just it's a lot more ominous than it was back then. So I can understand where that fan certainly is coming from. In terms of Shedeur, though, I think that the bad was obvious, right? Like, 2 of the 3 picks were sort of ill-advised passes. The one really good play by the defender to sort of jump up and tip the ball to himself. I think Shedeur probably thought he got it over his head. I don't know that he didn't completely miss the coverage. I think he just didn't get enough air into the ball. But then the second one was just kind of trying to just throw to a certain spot because that was, you kind of premeditated it and the corner dropped and you didn't really see him. And so, yeah, I think like those 2 plays kind of defined the day in terms of the bad, and it certainly looked like the process just wasn't as smooth as it was the week prior, even several weeks prior. But I also think you still saw some of those moments with him, right? Like the deep shots downfield, hit Isaiah Bond on a couple. That ball to Jerry Jeudy that led to the 3rd interception was about as good as it gets for a throw. Like, that was honestly, that might have been the best throw he's made as a starter. And unfortunately, it turned into an interception because Jerry Jeudy just couldn't hang on to it. But yeah, like I think this is kind of the dilemma with him is there's still clearly some growing pains and some development that needs to happen. And that's okay. That's not a like, to me, that's not an issue. Like, it's totally normal for a rookie quarterback to still need some time to develop. But I don't know if the Browns have that time to give him. And I don't know if he's going to be able to do enough by the end of the season to completely convince this organization, whether it's Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry who are back or not, that he can be the starter for them moving forward after beyond 2025.
Yeah, I get that. The other thing, though, I think it comes down to you need so much on offense. I don't know if you can do it in one off season. And that's the reason, if you love the quarterback who is sitting there when you pick, I think you draft him. If you don't, I think you address the offensive line, you address the wide receiver position, because you need multiples of those. I think Jerry Jeudy looks a lot better as a number 2 or a number 3 than he does the guy you're counting on to make plays on the outside.
Yeah, you're 100% right about that in terms of the needs of this football team. And I've talked at length about the offensive line in particular and what's going to take to sort of fix and rebuild that group, because like across the board, you might have to replace every single guy on that offensive line. And that's not necessarily an easy thing to accomplish in one off season, whether you're drafting, whether you're using free agency to identify those guys. So, like, that is going to be a tall task. And there is a lot of needs for this team for sure. I think I'll put it to you this way. Like, if this regime is back, I could see a world where they decide, let's see what we can get out of Shedeur Sanders early on. At least maybe we still draft a quarterback just later. And then from there, you can, sort of focus on some of your other needs. But if this regime isn't back, I don't know why a new regime would feel that they need to invest time into necessarily building around Shedeur Sanders when it's not their guy or a guy that they picked. So I think that's kind of where my head's at with it. And I don't know that bodes well for Shedeur just in general here, because I don't know that this regime is it's a foregone conclusion that they're coming back. I think it's pretty obvious at this point that it feels like they're maybe not coming back more so.